Good. Whoops.
First
Okay.
time.
It was so cute. We wanted to play it twice, right? Oh man. Okay. Good morning, everyone. We're so excited that you're here. My name is Christina Schulman, and of course, we have my co-host here, Hope Dale. And today we have the pleasure and opportunity to talk with Clay with Corel Trainer. Clay is going to be one of our awesome vendors at Everything Embroidery Market in September. So it's going to be September 22nd through the 24th in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina at the Convention Center. And so we're just going to chat with Clay a little bit about the class he's going to be teaching as well as his product. So Clay, if you don't mind, just introduce yourself really fast and we'll jump on in.
Yeah, for sure. My name's Clay Barbera. Been teaching Corel Draw since 2005. Started Corel Trainer about 3-4 years ago with a membership service to give personal support to those in the imprint industry, whether you're just vinyl cutting or you have, an automatic screen print setup and everything in between. The graphic side of the equation seems to be a major lacking part of what we needed. So started Corel Trainer. Since then, developed a plugin software that'll teach you Corel Draw inside Corel Draw. And we do a lot of trade shows now because that's what we like to do. We like to get in front of people face to face and actually help their business grow.
Yes, no, awesome. And I definitely agree with you. There's a need for that for sure. So do you mind just doing a quick little spiel here about exactly what is Corel Trainer or Corel Draw at all for people that may not be familiar with the software?
Yeah, for sure. So Corel Draw is the #1 graphic design software for imprinters, especially at events like yours, like ours. You'll walk around the room and 9 out of 10 people will say Corel Draw versus, let's say, Adobe products. And the reason is Corel has tailored itself for a couple decades now to doing things like easy vinyl cutting, editing of vector graphics, bitmap vector tracing, color separations for screen printing. And that's more obvious when you purchase a lot of the high-end digitizing software, embroidery software will often even come with a version of Corel Draw. I talk to clients all the time who spend big bucks on, digitizing Wilcom software. They don't even know that Corel Draw is integrated inside of it. And several other software tools like that as well. So the world of graphic design is quite large. Corel is just a niche, let's say a $500 million company versus a $3 billion company for graphic design for what we do in this industry. It's a little less expensive. It's a little easier to learn, especially with systems like mine, the Corel Trainer system that will teach you step by step inside of Corel and specific to what we do.
Right. And I think that's a neat to kind of go into because as pretty much everyone that's coming to this show is some sort of decorator, like you said, whether it's embroidery or screen prints or vinyl or whatever, but there is some sort of a design that you are taking and putting onto another object to enhance it. And so your software that that you're teaching is a very integral part. And I think it's going to be fun to attend your class and just kind of learn how to do that. I think some people are scared to just jump in and learn just anything new. So I think this will be cool. Let's talk about your class really fast.
Yeah.
So your class is going to be Corel Draw, great vectors, make great stitching. Tell us what that's going to be about.
For sure. So one of the #1 issues that our clients run into is they get that design, they get that business card, they get that screen capture or pic from their client's cell phone. So your client's cell phone or your client's website or that random image on the back of a napkin, whatever it is. Now, how do I make that into something that's usable, that's production ready? So that process is most often referred to as creating a good vector from not so good artwork. We use the acronym CRAP, cannot reproduce and print, or in our case, cut or stitch. So getting that JPEG, if you will, that digital image, and getting good vector lines out of it is going to open up your world of editability, of customization, not just digitizing, but cutting and printing and everything in between. So the class is going to focus mostly on, we'll pull some random JPEG from the internet, and I have lots of examples. The people in front of me, will raise their hand. They'll say, "Go to so and so high school. That's a client of mine." We'll take their logo, we'll adjust it, and we will get good vector out of it so that we can then digitize and we can cut and we can print from there. It's not as difficult as you think it might be. We'll go over it many times in the class.
Hello, I'm back.
There you
I actually muted myself because I heard my son over in the corner, and then I forgot to unmute.
It was an easy fix.
It wasn't the internet this time. So, and I lost my train of thought. But
bitmap vector tracing, setting things up for stitching, cutting, printing.
yes. So I've never done personally never done any digitizing, but I do have, a silhouette, and I've tried to do some tracing and tried to do some of that. And I think just a better knowledge of what goes into it would help me as well as a lot of people like me, yes. And like you said, the awesome thing is it's so versatile. Like, it doesn't matter if you do embroidery or vinyl or sublimation, it's across the board. And that's a really awesome.
Exactly. And Corel Draw, as you mentioned earlier, it's a little intimidating. It's, graphic design software. A lot of people who come to your event, it's so diverse. There's going to be multi-million-dollar shops with these big fancy printers, and there's going to be people just with the Cricut, cutting and sticking onto coffee mugs and selling at the farmer's market type stuff, and everything in between. Both, Corel Draw is your best design tool. It's not thousands and thousands of dollars. It's a few $100. And to get a training system like ours or a little bit of help will make sure that you're maximizing. I mean, I got clients with $200 worth of equipment making more money than you might think because they can do the pretty side, the art side, the design side. Now, on the flip side, I have clients with hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment, and they sit there twiddling their thumbs. And the difference is, well, I bought all this fancy stuff in my garage or whatever, and now how do I get it to run? So setting up the art is such a big part of the equation.
Right. And it would be something that would be simple to add on to a business that doesn't have it already. And it could just propel them to making even more by being able to make, the correct vector file so that they can stitch it out or whatever they're going to cut with it.
I feel like you find freedom because
right.
before you learn the software, you are at the mercy of whoever is providing your image.
Right. You're locked in.
Right. Which is an option. It certainly is. And we'll talk about that in the class as well. But you cannot control the customer without controlling the message, their name, their logo, and learning the basics of being able to take their logo, erase the text on top, type in new text so that it looks crisp and clean, then take just the center and vectorize it, and then being able to look at it and identify, okay, this is a nice thin outline. It's going to auto-digitize as a run stitch. This is a thick outline, okay? At this size, it's likely going to assume a satin. Clicking on it, ungrouping it, forcing it to be a zigzag or something like that when you're digitizing it. Or, okay, using, instead of a TTF, true type font, using a pre-digitized font to make sure it's just going to be perfect and your columns are right. And being able to look at that art, make those simple adjustments isn't a massive learning curve. It's, we often tell our clients, give our training system like an hour a week and it'll save you an hour a day, right, after a little bit of learning, So.
Yeah.
Well, and let's face it, if you're in this industry, you are a creative person. That means you like to tweak, you like to change things, you like to make it your own. And this just lets you do it a little bit easier. So I think that's really cool. Now, I'm curious, how did you get into this area, this niche?
This niche. I've always been a small business owner, and I can't say always. From a Kool-Aid stand next to the lemonade stand of my neighbors when I was 4, to I naturally developed going through high school and college the ability to, I guess, explain technical processes. So you mentioned being creative. Yes, I have a certain degree of creativity myself, but I'll even tell my students, my clients, that I'm more of a coach than I am a player. And I think that's how I got into, owning Corel Trainer, and teaching this kind of complicated process of graphic design to people who have no idea or already do have an idea and need some guidance. And I have no problem admitting that. Yes, I've developed hundreds of logos, but I have not developed thousands. And I often will admit that my students, my clients, are even more creative, and after go through a basic level of coaching, can create better art than even I can.
Yeah, no, I love
So
that.
I'll admit it. You mentioned creativity, yes, but I'll step back and say, wow, I got a student, started doing my training when she was 13 years old. She's 14 now, and she's a better artist than I am. I'll admit it.
Yeah, but I imagine it's also very rewarding to see that transformation too.
It really is, and from the creativity side, the design side, and then the business side as well. When I see a client at a trade show a year later, and they had a basic little sublimation setup, and now they're buying a direct to garment printer at the trade show a year later. It's like, whoa, 20, 30,000. And they're like, yeah, sweet. It's very rewarding to see that type of transition. Oh, someone with, a vinyl cutter, meet them one year, like a Cricut. They're at the trade show buying like, a graph tech, like, ooh, $1,000-$2,000 stepping up. And then a year later, they're buying, a Suma wide format digital, 64 inch. It's cool. It's cool to see that progression in my students, in my clients, in the industry and we hug and we hang out because you see the same people for years over. It becomes, more personal. And like you said, so rewarding. It's not just about growing my little business of teaching graphic design. It's about helping hundreds of other businesses grow step by step as well.
Well, you see the stair step, right? And the confidence just build, and then it builds a little bit more. And then now maybe they wouldn't have been confident enough to buy that big machine, but they know now, like, I can do this and I will do this and I'll be successful. And I think that's kind of what it's all about.
That's why I do this. Every class I teach, people say, you really love what you do, or we can tell that you're excited. I choose to do this. As I mentioned a few years ago, I decided to start this business. I could have done other things, and the decade prior to that, I enjoyed so much helping, just these small businesses grow that I said, I'm all in,
Yeah.
and I built this training system and I built this website and this plugin software. And it's been way more valuable to me than a few Bitcoin that it cost me back in the day.
Yeah. So tell me about, okay, so Corel Trainer, you said you have the, not plugin. What did you say? Is it a plugin? Is that what you said? Why is my,
Yes.
okay.
So there's Corel Draw, which is graphic design software, right? And then there's my website, which will teach you graphic design software. And then and that's a membership. Semi recently, we plugged the website inside of Corel Draw itself and added hundreds more training videos. So when we're at the trade show, there's a couple options. You can sign up on our website and get access to hundreds of training videos. Very cool. Or you can also get this plugin where you're learning Corel inside Corel. It's a bit more
Awesome.
money, but it is more user friendly, if you will, through your learning process. So that's basically my 2 tier of products that we'll be demonstrating there at the show and going over with everyone.
Yes. So I was just trying to think of the word, but my brain, for whatever reason, I think I'm a little just scatterbrained today. But I think that people are going to enjoy both sides. I learn best personally by doing. I can sit sometimes and just listen to someone demo, and if I'm not actually doing it, I don't retain as much. But my sister is different. If my sister can write it all down and then she goes home and she knows everything, but
Mhm.
I can't. I have to be doing it. So I'd probably do better with your plugin.
And that's exactly it. So the term "picture's worth 1,000 words," video's worth, I don't know, 1,000 pictures. So basically, all of our training is video based. So you have your Corel Draw, you have my website. You can watch the video and work in Corel Draw step by step. Download the worksheet so that you're doing the same thing at the same time. Pause the video, go back. It might be a 30-minute class, it might be a 10-minute class. A new thing that we came out with this year is a search tool. So now we have an AI where you can ask a question: how do I do this thing? And the answer is, watch this 4-minute video. So that's a big deal.
Wow.
Our students now, our clients now are just OMG about, I don't have to watch a 10, 20, 30-minute video to find that answer. Which is still but a whole heck of a lot better than going to YouTube. Now I can ask a question and get an answer now, like 4 minutes from now, I know how to do that one thing. So
Right.
what I got to do last year during the end of the lockdowns was 90 something new 4-minute videos. Just this tool, just this function, just this ability, and a bunch of keywords so that my students can search for it.
Right.
So that's huge right now.
That is
And,
huge.
and that shorts is in all of our tiers, all of our options. If you're just a member, you get access to all the short videos. And I see that people use those 4-minute videos 5 times more often than, let's say, the live classes or the beginner intermediate classes that I'll teach, or the recorded ones from years ago that we put together.
Yeah, I imagine because it gets their answer quickly, and then if they need to watch that quick little clip, go try it, and then wait, I missed something. Let me watch that again instead of having to sit through an entire class. They got their answer.
And sometimes it's almost intimidating sometimes when you're like, no, I just want to, or you're busy or you're trying to get something and you're like, just need this answer right here. And it's like, I don't want 20 minutes. I don't want 30 minutes, just 4 minutes there. Bam. Like sometimes too much is intimidating. Um,
Absolutely. And
for certain.
we're all busy.
Yes.
I don't have a half hour on YouTube to find a half hour class, watch the whole thing, and the answer was 4 minutes. I'm at an hour
Right.
of my that's
Or,
huge.
or
That's a
sometimes you think
5% of
it's
my day.
that. Yes. Or sometimes you think it's that, that video, that 20-minute video, and then you watch it and you're like, that they said 2 seconds worth of like what I'm looking for. And now I have to go find something else. So 4 minutes, because then 4 minutes, even if for whatever reason it wasn't, they worded it wrong or whatever happened, they could go find another 4-minute one that's the correct one. Like that is doable.
It,
Totally.
it, exactly. And we're in the industry.
Yeah.
The terminology that we use is similar to everyone else. We're not just in the industry, but we're trainers, we're teachers. There's
Mhm.
about a half dozen of us now, but we explain things as I was saying earlier. I'm not, some, no offense, it's kind of cool that YouTube provides this, but there's some 12-year-old kid in a different country that's excited. Hey, look what I just learned. But he's not explaining it. He's not, applying it to our application, our imprint industry. He's, there might be a language barrier. Um, and as you mentioned, it's that 2-second thing in his long video, and he's more worried about the graphics in the background than he is explaining how to do it.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think
Yeah.
that's exactly what this industry needs. And like I mentioned at the very beginning, people are intimidated, and you've put it in bite-sized chunks that are very easy to swallow, and they just can learn little by little, an hour a week, like you said. I love that. One of the my favorite things, and I've said this multiple times, is just our industry is full of passionate people, and it's very clear that you are one of them. And I'm proud that Everything Embroidery Market can bring passionate people from all the different areas, the embroidery, the vinyl, the screen prints, the printers, the vinyl, the laser cutter, all that. We have the experts that are passionate, that want to teach you, that want to watch you grow. And I'm honored that you're going to be there with us.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. And you mentioned laser engraving. That's
Yes.
or just any engravers. I mean, that's a huge market for Corel as well. I mean, you can't
Yes.
buy an engraver without them saying the word, you need Corel Draw. So,
Yes. Well, we have, I guess, Hatley and Associates with Epilogue is going to be there. So we're excited to have them as well. That side note, at the last show, we had some laser engravers, and my kiddos just went absolutely wild watching it just zzz.
It's exciting. Yeah, I want one too.
Yeah, my office would smell amazing if I had a laser engraver. Yeah. Oak and
So fun. So fun. Well, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. Again, Clay's going to be teaching that Corel Draw class. If you have not signed up, please do so. So Cope's putting up the CorelTrainer.com. That is Clay's website. Please do check it out if you're interested at all. I imagine you'll be selling it at the show as well. But if don't wait, go to his website right now, check it out. And then after you're done with that, head over to eemshows.com, sign up. It is a 3-day event. So September 22nd through the 24th, we've got a ton of different classes, lots of vendors that will be on the vendor floor. We'll actually be doing some live demos in the vendor floor this year, which is completely new, and we're super excited about it. So go ahead, sign up at EEM Shows, and we'll see you soon.
We'll see you there. Yeah.
Is there anywhere else that you want people, or that people can find you, Clay, before we head off?
The homepage, CorelTrainer.com. That's where they can find us. If they have questions, they can always reach out to us through there. I'm excited. Let's go to the beach.
Yes, let's go to the beach. It's going to be awesome. Yes, come join Clay. As you can see, his passion shines through, and we can't wait to see you there.
It's going to be awesome. Thank you. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Sure. We'll see you. Yeah.